Hey y'all, what's up, what's up? It's 8:05. Let's get this done. It's charging. It's not ready yet. Close my door. Close my door. Y'all know I'm a mama, okay? I specifically said at 8:05 I'm going to do my live, okay? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I was trying to get us some music, you guys, but I don't know what's going on with my phone. So y'all just come on in while I'm still working this thing out. I'm sorry if y'all hear TVs going on in the background. I tried to get to the quietest place in my house so that you guys wouldn't hear all that going on, but everybody's home, so you just might hear all that going on. Okay, here we go. Try to get us some little ambiance. I do not own the rights to this music, okay? I just want to kind of just give us a little ambiance, kind of set the mood. I hope y'all are doing all right. All right, y'all in the room, y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right, y'all in the room. I want y'all to put hashtag the Wife Rehab, because that is what this this series of videos or lives that I'm gonna be doing is gonna be pretty much focused on. If this is your first time visiting my live or coming to my page, I'm Nika Arnold Scott, the life changer I've been dubbed as. I'm all things empowerment, inspiration to both young ladies and women as well. My pure purpose and desire in life is to help you become a better you and to help your daughter become a better young lady into a woman. So that's my overall goal. So you may see me posting things about girls, you may see me posting things about women, but I am all things empowerment to girls and women. I'm an inspirational speaker. I'm a consultant when it comes to your personal development as well as your small business startup for women. So boom, that's that. All right, y'all. So what is the Wife Rehab, Nika? What is that all about? So I want to kind of give you guys a brief overview. I don't know if you guys have ever gone to my website or read my blog called Wife Ain't Easy. And basically, it just was birthed from a place of walking as a wife and understanding what that call is all about. And, you know, the things that happen inside of you while in your marriage that people don't talk about. We see the glam, we see the hashtag relationship goals, but we don't see what it's really like to be a wife. You know, we covet that ring and we want to say, oh, he put a ring on it and all of that. But what does that really mean? What have you said yes to? What have you said I do to? So that is what the Wife Rehab is all about. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my personal journey. And if you're joining me for the first time, put in the comments hashtag Wife Rehab, because that is what this is all about. Do you have to be a wife to be a part of Wife Rehab? To really understand the things that I'm going to be talking about? Yes. But if you are a woman that's newly engaged or you desire to be married or wherever, you know, you may find yourself at this point as a single or a divorcee, or, you know, you're right in the thick of your marriage, this is for you. So my blog is titled Wife Ain't Easy. So I'm pretty much going to be talking from pretty much the basis of this. And it just kind of talks about how I just thought being a wife and marriage was just like the natural progression of boyfriend, girlfriend, right? How wrong was I? Like, I was absolutely wrong about that whole boyfriend, girlfriend. Or it's just like being in a relationship, only now you have this piece of paper, right? And marriage and being a wife is so much more than that, right? And I know that a lot of us, I know for me, I grew up in a single parent home, so I didn't really see the wife husband role, and I really couldn't appreciate it. And quite honestly, I didn't really respect it because it's not something that I saw. I knew a lot of couples that were common law married. And what common law married is like you've been together for 20 years, and it's like everybody knows you as Auntie Sophia, you know, Uncle Juju's wife, but you haven't gone through the ceremonial exchanging of vows, that type of thing, legally and all of that, to be husband and wife. But nonetheless, that's a lot of what I saw. I saw common law marriages. I saw, you know, just long relationships. So I'm like, being a wife, okay, it's just like being an infinite girlfriend, right? It can't be that hard. It can't be that hard to be a wife. It's easy to be a girlfriend, but it can't be that hard to be a wife, right? Now, being a wife, it truly exposes who you really are. Because when you make that commitment to say, I do, I will, I vow, I commit, right? You are really, really entering into something that's deeper than those words. You are entering into a bond, and that's scary. I know it was scary for me. And not at first. At first, I can honestly say that it was just, oh, okay, it's cute, you know, we married now, you know, and then life hits. What happens if, you know, you experience infidelity? What happens when you experience the love fading away? What happens when the communication is no longer, you know, there like it was in the honeymoon stages? You know, you guys aren't texting and sending happy faces, kissy faces, and all of that. What happens? How do you sustain? How do you find your way back? And I'm going to share with you ladies, and gentlemen, if you decide to log on. But as I was preparing for this, I have 3 rules that I want to share with you ladies. And these are my 3 wife rehab rules. Number 1 is keep your identity. Number 2 is speak up. Speak up. Number 3, meditate, breathe, and let it go. Now, let me go back to rule number 1. Keep your identity. I know that we live in a world, or you may be a part of a certain group that says, you know, you guys are one. You know, and we hear this all the time, you know, the 2 became 1. And, you know, you have this idea in your mind that, okay, we're supposed to like the same things. We're supposed to, you know, have the same circle of friends. We're supposed to enjoy the same things. You know, we're one. We're supposed to do things together. That is how you lose your identity. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you guys aren't supposed to have, you know, mutual friends. I'm not saying that you're not supposed to, you know, enjoy doing things together. But what I am saying is, wife, you have to make sure that you keep your identity. You have to do things that make you feel amazing. You have to do things that gives you peace. You have to do things that refuel you. Otherwise, resentment is going to set in. Otherwise, frustration is going to set in. Then you're going to start having lack of communication because you're going to be feeling a certain type of way. And then that leads me to rule number 2, speak up. A lot of times we just take things in and we physically abuse ourselves because we don't want to disturb the waters of our marriage, or we don't want to have an argument, right? But you speaking up, it helps you to release what's inside of you, because when resentment starts to set in, it's really hard to climb out of that place. So speaking up just simply means, hey, you know what? Yesterday I felt like this, that, thus, and so, right? Or that same day, hey, you know what? This isn't working for me. I don't like this, you know, or I want to talk about this, and not allowing things to just go on and on and on and on, and you not speak up. And then, you know, he may ask, okay, what's wrong? And you say nothing. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself, is to deny that something is wrong. That's the worst thing you can do, is to deny yourself the ability and the opportunity to be able to speak up and say, okay, you know what? I'm a little pissed right now. So let's talk about this later. Or, you know what? I'm a little uncomfortable with blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And not just internalize everything that's going on, because it makes you unhealthy. It makes you stressed. It runs your blood pressure up, okay? And at the end of the day, it's just not helpful for the relationship. So rule number 2 is speak up. If you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something. All right. So y'all put that in there. I need to know that y'all are interacting with me and that y'all are getting this. So rule number 1 is keep your identity. Keep your circle of friends that pour into you. Keep your community around you that makes you feel like you, not as a wife, but you as a person. I had to make sure that I did things for Nika that just made Nika feel like Nika. I had to do things for Nika that Nika needed, not necessarily that was beneficial to my marriage or my children, but that just made me feel alive, that made me feel grateful, that made me feel inspired. I had to be able to do those things for myself, because the biggest mistake that we make is looking to our mates to make us happy. You didn't enter into marriage to be complete. You should enter into marriage already complete. If you're looking for your husband to complete you, baby girl, you are in for a rude awakening. So keep your identity. If you draw, continue to draw. If you paint, continue to paint. Continue to do the things that make you feel like you. So 1, keep your identity. Yes, y'all. Hey, Darkova. Hey, Condolia. Keep your identities, wife. Number 2, speak up. If you see something, wife, say something. I just kept my mouth closed for so many years. During so many situations, I was hurt, I was broken, I was mad, I was pissed the hell off. I was just mad on the inside, but I just internalized it. I just kept swallowing it and swallowing it and swallowing it until one day something happened and I'm just boom, and I just go off like a cannon, and nobody seems to understand why. Nobody seems to understand what happened to me. Nobody seems to understand why she's frustrated. Why is she going to hell off like that? All I said was good morning. So speak up. Hey, let's have a conversation. You know what? Today, whatever. And you have the conversation. You do yourself a favor and you speak up. Stop feeling like you have to shrink. Stop feeling like you just have to fake it and take it. Stop feeling like that. That is not a part of your duty as a wife. Stop it. Angie, if that's you, stop it. Speak up. I don't care if you have to write a letter, send an email. I don't care what you have to do. You have to do yourself a favor and stop the self-abuse and express yourself. So wife, speak up. Speak up. Rule number 3, meditate and breathe. These things go hand in hand. This technique can be used in the middle of a heated conversation. This technique can be used when your mind is going crazy, especially if you're in a marriage where you have experienced some type of, unfaithfulness, infidelity or anything like that, or just, your trust has been bruised in any kind of way. This technique I have used before, because trust and believe, I have been in those situations, and this is how I was able to get myself out and keep my sanity, get myself out of that thought pattern and keep my sanity, right? So meditate and breathe. It's just simply and that was just 5 in and outs of just meditating and breathing. And what are you thinking about during that time? You're just thinking about your breath. You're just calming yourself down, because if you just take a moment and breathe and meditate, okay, everything's okay. I'm not overreacting. Everything is cool. Everything is fine. And you have to really calm yourself before you have a conversation. calm yourself before you start assuming, because as wives, we can assume really quick. We can go there. So take a minute to breathe, meditate. Okay, I am in full control of my emotions. And because of this control, I am going to make a great decision. I am fully in control of my emotions. And you really have to talk yourself down. I know it sounds crazy, but I promise you, I am a sass mouth. Okay? If I believe it and I think it, I'm going to say it. Nigga might slip out of my mouth. What the hell, bleep, 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 might slip out of my mouth. But what I have come to realize that if I don't respect myself, if I don't respect my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions, and that's just by acknowledging they are there, there's no way I can respect my husband. No way. Because just like he has thoughts, emotions, reactions, I do too. So I have to take a moment to get control of me. And once I get control of me, it's easier for me to calm the beast that's rising in him. Because now I'm frustrated. Now my voice is going up. Now I'm saying things I shouldn't say. Now I'm addressing him in a way that's not becoming of a king, a husband. So now we got a problem. So I have to take a moment to take control and say, okay, whatever I'm facing, is this worth addressing right now? Is what I'm feeling emotional or is it factual? And I have to talk to myself. Okay, Nika, it's emotional. So, all right, you have to check you. Why are you feeling this emotion? Is it something that he said, or is it just something that you think? Or is it something that you've experienced before, Nika? What is this before you react? And all of this is going on, y'all, while I'm meditating real quick and while I'm breathing real quick. Okay? And I'm processing all of this in my head. And when I open my eyes, that means I'm ready. And I say, you know what? You're right. You're right, honey. You're right. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? And then I proceed in saying whatever it is that I need to say. But after I've calmed myself first, because when you say things in the heat of an argument, you cannot take those things back. Sorry does not erase the scar that was placed there after you said those words. Because what I found is that my husband has reacted to me based on how I've responded to him. Let me say that again. My husband has reacted to me based on how I've responded to him. If I respond calmly, even though he may come at me, well, honey, I'm not sure. Guess what happens? By default, whatever fire was blazing in him, it's coming down. It's slowly dwindling out. But you, wife, have to be in tune with you, and don't allow him to disturb your energy. Okay? That's one thing that I'm learning. I'm learning that I have to maintain control over my own energy. He can walk in here blazing. I have to be the calm, because that's what I choose to be. All right? So, and then you have to just let it go. Okay, you know what? I'm a last word person. Okay? Well, as a matter of fact, okay, then I'm coming with the last word. But I've learned that, you know what? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm learning. At the end of the day, who has the last word doesn't matter. That's an ego trip. And I had to learn as a wife, you know what? Let me lay my ego down. Let me let him have this. It's just us. There's no stage. There's no cameras. So you know what? It's fine, honey. And I'll let him have that, even though he could be wrong as two left shoes. Okay? But I've learned to choose my battles. And I've also learned to manage my own energy. So 3 rules, ladies. 3 rules, wives. 1, keep your identity. I want to see y'all type that. Say that. Keep my identity. Make it your own. Keep my identity. Keep your identity. Keep your identity. Just because you became a wife, you didn't stop being who you were. Just because you became a wife doesn't mean that you don't have dreams, that you don't have aspirations, right? So keep your identity. Rule number 2, speak up. Speak up. If you see it, speak on it. If you feel it, speak on it. Don't go to bed holding things, because tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. Keep your identity. Yes, keep your identity. Number 2, speak up. Say, I will speak up. I will speak up. Stop holding that stuff in. Stop holding that stuff in. A heart attack is a silent killer, especially among Black women. Especially among Black women. We leave out of here with, high blood pressure and, heart disease and all of this stuff more so than breast cancer. So speak up. Stop feeling like you have to swallow it. Stop feeling like you have to pack all that stuff in your bag and carrying it around with you, weighing your shoulders down, weighing your mind down, stifling your mental growth, okay? Stifling your emotional growth. Speak up, girl. Speak up, okay? Number 3, meditate, breathe, and let it go. Meditate, breathe, and let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Especially when you know that you're not going anywhere. Especially when you know you have made the commitment to be in this marriage no matter what. If he's not beating your head in, it's workable. It's workable. You just have to be willing to do the work. And I'm not telling y'all something that I was not willing to do. I was willing to do the work. And a lot of times it hurt like hell. A lot of times I was frustrated as hell. A lot of times I wanted to give up, walk out. Matter of fact, I did, but I had to realize that, you know what, Nika? Anything worth having is worth fighting for. And I know that sounds so frippin' cliche, but it's so true. But what I had to learn, ladies, was I had to learn to look at Nika. I had to learn to look at the woman in the mirror. I had to come face to face with my childhood issues. I had to learn to come face to face with my daddy issues. I had to learn to come face to face with my insecurities. I had to learn to come face to face with my superwoman complex. Yes, superwoman complex. I had to come face to face with her. And I didn't like where she was taking us. I didn't like the things that she was causing to happen in her marriage because of her mouth, because of her mentality. Your mouth and your mentality will get you into some serious trouble. My mom used to say, don't let your mouth write a check that your butt can't cash, okay? And I had to really learn what sacrifice was. I had to really learn what serving was. Y'all, I didn't like the word submit. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Oh, you got to submit to your husband. You got to be a submissive. Ain't nothing about Nika docile. Nothing. Okay? So I had a real issue with submitting. I didn't like the word because I felt like that meant that you had authority over me, that you had power over me. Okay? You know her, Darkova, let me tell you. Right? And so when I realized that, okay, you know what? This isn't going to work, Nika. You have to change. I wanted him to change. It was him. It was his fault. It was his mouth. It was his attitude. It was his upbringing. It was all of that. But no, I had to look at this chick in the mirror and say, okay, girlfriend, what's your problem? What's your issue? What's that issue about you that you don't want nobody to know? What's that issue about you that you don't want to deal with? What's that issue issue with you that's causing you to tear your marriage apart? What is that issue with you that's causing you not to be the wife that you know that you can be? Now you out here empowering all of these people, right? You're the life changer. But yet your life is falling apart. Can I be honest? Can I be transparent? Because this is the Wife Rehab. And that is what this is all about. And I was going to church every day faithfully. Okay? Still coming home talking to my husband like I'm crazy. Right? Still not dealing with my issues. And it was only until I had a conversation with God for myself. I had to shut out all the noise. That's why I already said, y'all, if you super religious, the Wife Rehab ain't for you. Okay? I'm just going to let you know that right now. I love God institution I'm not with. I'm just going to say that. So I had to have a real conversation with God, and because I was struggling. And everybody around me looks like their marriage was happy and they loved each other and they were making money together. They were going on trips together and they had this beautiful marriage, this beautiful home and all of this stuff. And I'm like, now, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with this picture? Like, you know? And I had a revelation like, you know what? You can pretend that you have everything going on. You can put your face on for social media. But what's the most important? What's the most important? What you post or what you possess? What's more important, Nika? What you post or what you possess? And for a while, what I posted was more important. I'm just going to be 100. What I posted was more important than what I possessed. It was only when I made a decision that, you know what, I want to possess exactly what I post. I wanted to possess exactly what I post. And that changed everything for me. And what I started to say, I started to speak differently. Ladies, your words are important. And I'm going to be talking about this. I'm going to be doing this is going to be a 4-week series. This was just pretty much the introduction. And I just wanted to kind of give you ladies some color behind the Wife Rehab. What is it? You know, it's rehabbing wives. It's just that, because if you've been married, I've been married almost 10 years. This September will be 10 years for me. And I need this. I needed some rehabilitation. I needed to have my fire relit again. I needed this. And I said, man, I know if I needed this, that there are more wives out there that need this, that just need to be reminded, that need to be empowered, that need to have, you know, what I have. And that's experience or you know, the opportunity to hear like some real ish, you know, from real life people. Because, man, we get to scrolling on this Facebook, man, and we start looking at our lives like, what the heck happened, right? So I want to be that light on a hill for you as a wife. If you feel like, man, I've been in this thing so long, like it's just same old, you know, we just trotting along, you know. I want to be that light on the hill and say, man, if Nika was able to do it, and I'm going to really share some stuff with you guys that will really, really blow your minds about what I've gone through and what I've taken my husband through and what I've taken my family through, me, yes, you know, as the wife, you know, and how I was able to rehabilitate myself as a wife with the help of God, my creator, you know. And I want to be able to share that with you. Like, I want to be able to tell you, like, sis, been there, done that, and this is what I did. If you're not already following the Nika Arnold Scott page, please go over and like that page, because I'm going to be sharing things over there as well. I just wanted to come on and encourage you as a wife. Follow my 3 rules. First rule, y'all remember? Let me hear it. Type it in there. What was rule number 1? I gave you 3 rules because I need to know that y'all are paying attention. This is interactive, okay? And if y'all got questions, please DM them to me. Like, or if there's something specific that you want me to touch on, I done been through it all. So, you know, done it all. Okay? So if there's anything specific that I may not cover, or that you want me to cover, a question or anything you want directly answered, make sure you DM it to me. So rule number 1 was keep your identity. Keep your identity. You do not become two people. You agree that we're going to walk together. You agree that this is how we're going to do things. You come together as one mind, not one body, not one movement. Yes, keep your identity. Rule number 2 is speak up. Speak up. If you see something, say something. If you feel something, say something. If you want to do something, say something. Like, okay, if your husband is not the romantic type, I just got this. If your husband is not the romantic type, but you know you want that, you know that that is something that you need, you desire, and that you want to have. And I've had the conversation with him. I've told him, you know, that this is what I like. I want roses and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. This is my advice, okay? You have to show him sometimes and do for him what you want done for you. That means you have to be the example. So if you want romance, you may have to show him what romance looks like. He may not know. That just may not be his thing. We just automatically assume, well, you a man, you're supposed to be romantic. You're supposed to know, but they really don't. So if that's you, I would just encourage you to plan a romantic dinner, date, and getaway. And guess what, girl? Even if you plan it, you still get to participate in the experience. So stop getting hung up because he didn't plan it. Okay? Or I wanted him to bring me flowers. Leave flowers for him. Babe, I bought you some flowers. And you get to enjoy them too. It's a bonus. It's a win-win. Okay? So stop putting your happiness in things that you need for you to feel good, to feel beautiful, to feel loved, to feel amazing. Whatever it is, like, stop putting that on him. Stop giving that power over to your husband. That's putting too much pressure on him. And 2, he's not a mind reader. He doesn't know. And you can say, I've told him, I've said, but if it's not in his nature, it's just not in his nature. And all you do is harm yourself by expecting something of him that he's just not. It's just not who he is. Okay? So that's that. That was a bonus. Okay? That was a little side tip. All right. So 2, speak up. Yes. And rule number 3 is meditate, breathe, and let it go. Okay? You may have to let it go for the moment. You may have to let it go for the day. Breathe, meditate, and let it go. I'm going to show y'all an example again. Okay? So this is breathing. You go in your nostrils. You go and release out your mouth. And you do that about 5 times, sis, until you get your thoughts together, until you may be on 100, but after breathing, you just calm down, because that's where your focus goes. And wherever your focus goes, that's where your energy goes. You have to take control over you. You have to take control over your energy, sis, as a wife, as a woman, as a mom. You have to take control over you, over your actions, over your reactions. Don't allow anybody else to have that type of control over you. I'm telling you, when my husband comes at me, I just, okay, honey, all right. And guess what happens? You calm the beast. I promise you, next time, try it. And not only that, you don't allow your blood pressure to rise. You remain in control over you. And that's the most beautiful thing that you can do for yourself, is remain in control. I've been so out of control for years, like in my actions, with my mouth, okay? And I had to learn, you know what, Nika? If you want your husband to respect you, you have to respect him as a man. You cannot talk to a man like he's a child, okay? You cannot talk to a man like he's a boy, okay? So when I learned that, because I wasn't taught that, you think you just know. I didn't know how to treat a husband. I didn't. I'm still learning. If I can be honest, I'm still learning. that there's just certain things you don't say to a man. There's just certain things you don't do to a man. That's your husband that you love and that you've pledged your life to. But it's a process, ladies. It's a process, especially if you've been married for any significant amount of time. I've been married almost a decade, right? And I'm still learning. You never fully get there as a wife. You never fully arrive, because as you change and evolve, your husband is changing and evolving, and you have to learn to love him at a different level, right? Because at 5 years, he's not the same as he was year one. You're not the same as you were year one. Year one, year two, year three, you're really still at the honeymoon stage, okay? Year 7, ish gets real. Ish gets real at about year 7, okay? So see me at year 7. All right, so I'm going to share with you guys, my thoughts. If you have, questions, y'all, this is interaction. Like, I'm really doing this because I really want to help wives be better women, be better wives, just based on my experience. I've experienced it all. Infidelity. I've experienced, having a bonus child, if you want to call it that or whatever. I've experienced all of that. So I want to be able to open up my life, open up my experience for wives, because I believe that marriage is amazing. I believe that marriage works. I believe that marriage is a blessing. I believe that marriage is healthy. Marriages can be healthy. I believe that divorce isn't an option. If that's what you choose, to do that, then that's your option. But I believe that if he's not beating your head in and, just being blatantly disrespectful and just out running the streets and, different things like that, it's workable. You have to be willing to do the work. You have to be willing to do the work on you first. We're not excluding him, but we're just, talking about us as wives and what it takes to really be a wife beyond the I do's. So, I've created something for you ladies. I've created something for you ladies called the Wifey Rehab, and it's about 4 sheets. And it's just, and I can email it to you if you guys want to either drop your emails here or you can DM it to me. It's a PDF and you can just download it. These are going to be just some little things that we're going to be talking about. This is where we are today and the future us. So this is basically, you just writing down what you want to see, affirmations and actions. Because whatever you affirm, you have to put an action with that thing. For me, the greatest example I can give you is that I said that my desire will be only for my husband and his desire only for me, right? That's kind of a no-brainer. But sometimes you kind of feel like things aren't the same, especially as you've been in a marriage for a while and, your body's changed, his body's changed or whatever, and then the action that I couple, got you, Angie, the action that I coupled with that is I touch my husband all the time. I slap him on the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rub his head. I tell him he looks sexy. Different things like that. So actions plus affirmation. So that's what this one is. It's where are we today and the future us, right? So it's acknowledging where you are, but then talking about where you want to be. And that's the goal. That's what we work towards. And this one is list 5 things you love about you and list 5 things you love about him, affirmation and action. So it's just and it's just about 4 sheets. No, it's actually 5. Actually 5 sheets. It's in a PDF. I can email it to you. You can download it. We can go through it together. I'll be touching on a little bit of it here in the Wife Rehab, or you can, work on it on your own. If you have questions, listen, ladies, you always can hit me up if you have questions. You can email it to me if you want to email me. You can email me at iamnikascott@gmail.com. iamnikascott@gmail.com. You can email your questions, comments, feedback, or whatever there. Or you can DM it here on Facebook, whatever you decide to do. You can put it in the comment section here, whatever. Ladies, let's rehab our marriages. Let's rehab ourselves as wives. Let's really create the marriage that we want. If you want a happy, healthy marriage, you can have a happy, healthy marriage. Whatever type of marriage you want, you can have it. You just have to be willing to put the work in to get it. That's the bottom line. You just have to be willing to put the work in to get it, you know. And I believe that you can. I believe that these wife rehabbing sheets will definitely help you with that. Definitely get you into a mode of thinking like, dang, where are we? Where am I? What do I love about him? You know what I'm saying? And this is the wife rehab when the honeymoon ends, right? So I thank you guys for joining me tonight. I promise I won't make these so long, but if they go long, they just do. You can catch it. But thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for, you know, watching this on the replay. Please share this with a wife that you know. I'll be back again next Monday at 8:05. The Wife Rehab will be back next Monday at 8:05. If you would like to have the Wife Rehab downloadable worksheets, drop your email to me. You can email it to me. I am nikascott@gmail.com, or you can inbox it to me. You can drop it here in the comments. I'll be looking at the comments throughout the night and tomorrow, and I'll send you out the PDF. It's a real simple, you know, PDF. It's free. I created it just for, you know, the wife rehab, so you can have something to kind of tangibly go by and, you know, write in and write on and all of that good stuff. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you're coming in late, go back and watch the top start of this video. I kind of tell you what the wife rehab is all about. I needed some wife rehabilitation, so I figured, hey, if I need it, I'm sure that there are other women out here that are married, that have been married, that desire to be married, that really want to know, you know, the truth about marriage, the beautiful truth. I don't say it's an ugly truth. It's a beautiful truth about marriage, about being married, about how to rehabilitate your marriage, how to rehabilitate yourself as a wife and really walk in that role, like seriously, because being a wife is not about just wearing the ring. Being a wife is about doing the work. So I created these little worksheets for you ladies to just kind of work through. So drop your email and I can send that out to you. Again, it's a PDF. It's really simple, easy. Just download it, print it out, and really do the work. And this is how you know that you're committed to your self-work, because you have to be committed to your self-work first. You can't say, hey, Erica, I love you. You can't say, I want my marriage to work, but then you're looking at him and expecting him to do the work. No, sis, you have to do the work too. You have to do the work on you. And as he sees you doing the work on you, guess what? Everything about you will change. But you have to first be willing to be the sacrifice. You have to be willing to set your pride aside, okay, to murder your ego. You have to be willing to do that first if you want your marriage to work, if you want to be happy and healthy in your marriage. If you want your marriage to work, sis, you have to be willing to work it. And that starts with you. Don't look at your husband. He's not in this by himself. There are things that you have contributed. There are behaviors that you have contributed and exhibited to make him respond the way that he has responded, right? And both of you equally have had, you know, your share of issues that brought your marriage to wherever it is now. But all I'm saying is focus on you first. Even when you're on an airplane, they tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you attempt to help anybody else. Why do they do that? Because you're trying to help somebody else and you pass out and die. Trying to help somebody else. So before you try to help anybody else, before you point fingers at your husband, before you say it's his fault, if he would change, if he would just do this, if he would just do that, I need you to point those fingers at you and say, okay, if I would just listen, if I would just be quiet sometimes, if I would just, right? And once you start to do that, you will really be able to uncover some of the things that you have been hiding for so long that you think they are dead and gone, right? But those things keep rearing up time after time after time. So we're going to deal with those things. So this is the Wife Rehab. I'm your girl, Nika Arnold Scott. And next Monday, I will be back at 8:05. So send your married friends a DM and say, hey, this girl is telling all in the Wife Rehab, and you need to be on this live. So make sure you share it. Make sure you share it. Comment their names down below so that they can see it. If you're watching the replay, just put in hashtag replay, put in hashtag the Wife Rehab, because that's what this is all about. Ladies, it's rehab time. It's time to get your lives together. It's time to get your marriages back strong. It's time to reignite that flame. Black love is amazing. Black marriages do work. Black people do stick together. Wives know how to love, support, and speak to their husbands. Husbands know how to love, support, and speak to their wives. So don't let society fool you, right? But it starts with us, ladies. It starts with us, all right? So I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen. I had some gentlemen come on. Thank you guys for joining. Last week, this is the Wife Rehab. I'll be back next week. Again, if you ladies have any questions, if you want your Wife Rehab when the honeymoon ends, worksheets, just let me know. You can drop your email here. You can DM me your email, or you can email me. I am Nika Scott at gmail.com. I'll be talking all things wife, all things, getting your marriage back together, getting your marriage back on track, igniting that flame within, getting your sexy back in your marriage, all of that good stuff I'm going to be talking about. So if you have any questions, to get your sheets, it's like 5 pages. Email down below. DM me your email if you have questions, anything. Listen, ladies, if you're serious about making your marriage work, if you're serious about doing this self-work, I'm here to help you. I have bumped my head. I have scratched up my knees. I have wounds. I have scars and all that. But guess what? I'm still fighting. I'm still fighting because I believe in love. I believe that I deserve a happy marriage. So guess what? I have to create the life that I want. And it starts with my mouth. I had to start saying it first. I had to dismiss everything that I thought. I had to dismiss what I saw. I had to dismiss, any preconceived ideas that I had about marriage. All of that. I had to let all of that go out of the window. And I had to say out of my mouth, what do I want? What do I need? And I had to start saying what I want. Remember the 3 rules? Remember the 3 rules, okay? Rule number 1, let me go back over them again. Rule number 1, keep your identity. Rule number 2, speak up. I had to learn to speak up and say what I wanted. So rule number 2 was like, that was my mates right there. I had to learn to speak up and say what I want. And rule number 3, I had to learn to meditate, breathe, and let go. So that's the Wife Rehab, you guys. So I'm so grateful for all of you that have joined, that are wives, that may aspire to be wives, or maybe you're, you've been married and now you're divorced, but you're looking to be married again. Thank you for joining me on the Wife Rehab. I'm going to be talking all things marriage and keeping it 100 with y'all. Like, there is no ugly in marriage. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but there are ugly behaviors that we can exhibit as wives. I'm only talking about wives. I'm not letting guys off the hook, but I'm a wife, not a husband. So that's what I'll be talking about from my perspective as being a wife. So that's what the Wife Rehab is all about, because I'm still in rehabilitation right now as I speak about being a wife. And not only just being a wife, y'all, but being a good wife. Being a good wife. Being an attentive wife. Being an affectionate wife. Being a truthful wife, being an honest wife, being a wife that knows how to speak up, but not sacrificing my husband's respect in doing so. Because sometimes we can be vocal, ladies, but we can be disrespectfully vocal. So I've had to learn how to be vocal, but yet keep that integrity of respect when I'm speaking to my husband. Because see, I didn't have a father that was around, so I wasn't groomed in how to, no, you don't talk to your dad like that. So I wasn't groomed that way. So I had to learn in my marriage how to do that and keep the respect intact. act, if that makes sense. So, you know, that's what the Wife Rehab is about, you guys. I want to help as many wives as I can be better women, be better wives, and allow you to be able to have a support system, have tools. That's why I created the Wife Rehab worksheets when the honeymoon ends, you know, for you. And they're really simple. It's like, where are we today? Where do I want us to be? What are 5 things I love about him? What are 5 things I, you know, love about me? Yes, hey, Patricia. You know, what do I commit to myself? What do I commit to my husband? Like, it's so easy, y'all. I promise you. And if I can do it, okay? And if I can do it, and I was a hot AWS mess, okay? I still slightly am a little bit, but I'm working on that part, okay? So that's what the Wife Rehab is all about. I have a blog on my website. If you go to nikascott.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of my blog post, it's called Wife It Ain't Easy, you know, and I kind of give you a little glimpse into how I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, girl, this is going to start with you. You have to be the example. You have to be the sacrifice. You have to start working on you first. Work on your attitude, Nika. Work on your facial expressions, Nika. You know, work on you. And as I learned to work on me, guess what? A lot of things that he said and did not annoy me as much. I promise you. So when I took the time to learn myself, and when I took the time to look at things that may have triggered me, or why I said that, or why, if he said that, it made me feel like that, because it's always a self-reflection, you guys. You always have to look at you and say, okay, why did that make me feel that way? And when you learn how to look at you and address your issue, then the other person, you get mad at them because they point out your issue. I'm just talking about me. I just got mad because you point out my issue. And that's what it is. That's what offense is. It's pointing out your issue. It's rubbing your issue. And when I learned what my issues were, and I dealt with them one thing at a time, and I'm still dealing with them. I'm still dealing with insecurity. I'm still dealing with trust. I'm still in rehabilitation myself. So not only, you know, am I the president, I'm a client. But I've seen a sparkle in my husband's eye when I've said certain things that he didn't expect me to say, or when I didn't respond the way he thought I was going to respond, or when I rubbed his head in that sensual way, you know, and I could feel his energy shifting. And that, ladies, is what made it worth it. That is what made my sacrifice worth it. That is what made me continue to go on. So the work works if you work it. The work works if you work it. Okay? So remember those 3 rules. Apply them. If you want the rehab worksheets, send me your email. You can email me your feedback. I would love to hear it. I am nikascott@gmail.com, or you can DM me, or you can put them down below. Share this with wives that you know. I'll be back next Monday at 8:05. I'll be, you know, posting it so you guys can know. Thank you so much for allowing me to come into your space tonight. I hope something that I've said, and that's something that I will say, will bless you, that will help you as a wife, as a woman, and really help you to reignite the flame and the passion back into your marriage. And I challenge you tonight to go in there and give your husband a kiss, rub his head, slap his butt, tell him he looks sexy, whatever it is. I challenge you tonight to, even if you're mad at each other, like right now my husband and I, we kind of at a little but I'm going to challenge myself, okay, as I am challenging you. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna give him a hug, and I'm going to give him a kiss, because you know what? At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I want my marriage to be happy, healthy. I want it to be a place of solitude. I want it to be a place of surrender. I want it to be a place of peace. And I have to sometimes sacrifice for peace. It's the price we have to pay. So I love you guys. Again, hey, listen, I want to send you guys these worksheets. They are amazing. You're going to love them. They're called the Wife Rehab When the Honeymoon Ends worksheets. Is about 5 sheets. It's just really easy, really simple. So if you want those, I can email them to you in a PDF. Just leave me your email, DM me your email. Questions, comments, feedback. I would love to hear from you guys. If you are not already or have not already liked my The Nika Arnold Scott page, please go do so, because I'll be dropping some juice over there as well. So I love you, ladies. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to be transparent. Thank you for allowing me to share my truth with you guys. I love you. Thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you next Monday at 8:05. Remember to go like that Nika Arnold Scott page, because I'm going to be dropping some juice. All right. Love y'all. Peace.